What if I told you that these colorful carrots were grown from tiny seeds right here in my backyard? Many people think carrots are hard to grow, but in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to grow carrots at home, step by step. If you're a beginner, this is your complete carrot growing guide. Let's get right into it. In my experience, growing carrots can be done in 5 easy steps. Step 1 is to prep your soil. Carrots are low maintenance growers, but soil prep is everything. This is my raised planter bed in my garden where I love to grow vegetables. In this bed, I've added a mixture of equal parts peat moss, perlite, and sand. You should be able to buy these things at your local garden center, and I'll link what I can in the description box. Because carrots love loose, well-draining soil, I'm using my trowel to help break up any clumps of dirt or compacted soil as part of my prep of this area. One thing I highly recommend adding to your soil is earthworm castings. Earthworm castings are nutrient-rich compost made by earthworms. And in my opinion, this is one of the best natural soil amendments you can use in your garden. I'm using my hand rake to blend the earthworm castings into the soil. This is what my soil looks like after it's been prepped, and you can see everything has been mixed together. Now we're ready to move on to step 2, which is to directly sow or plant our carrot seeds into the soil. Let me show you exactly how to do this. I'm taking my fingers and gently making shallow rows in the soil that are about 1/4 of an inch deep. This season, I'm growing colorful carrots from 4 different kinds of seeds as an experiment to see which ones grow the best. So I'm making 4 rows that are each about 6 inches apart. You want to leave some space in between each row so your carrots have enough room to grow without being too crowded. The first carrot variety I'm growing this year is the Calliope blend from Botanical Interests. The method I like the best for planting my carrot seeds is to first gather a good amount of carrot seeds in my hand, and then gently and carefully sprinkle the seeds evenly down the row. The next variety I'm growing is the Kaleidoscope blend from Peat. I'm a big fan of colorful carrots since they're harder to find in the store or at the market. I'm repeating the same process, but sprinkling this variety down the second row now. The third variety I'm using is Fairy Morse. Same process, and I'll sprinkle these down the third row in my raised planter bed. Now, this is a new concept I'm trying this year, which are seeds from Fairy Morse that have a bright reddish pink coating on them. They say they have increased oxygen penetration and are easier to handle, but I'm curious if they'll still have a strong germination rate. We'll see about that. These are definitely easy to see, and they do have a nice contrast in color with my brown soil. You can see I'm sprinkling these into my 4th row. They are very bright and hard to miss. The final part of this step is to lightly cover the seeds with soil. Carrots are root vegetables, meaning they grow under the soil. And in my experience, it's much easier to grow carrots from seeds than to transplant small carrot seedlings you may find at your local nursery. Now let's move on to step 3, which is to provide your carrot seeds with lots of water. It's very important to keep the soil consistently moist, especially until your carrots germinate. Carrot seeds can take up to 3 weeks to sprout, and if the soil completely dries out even once, they may never come up. Watering is something that will be needed up until we harvest our carrots. If you don't want to water your carrots with a hose by hand, you can set up an irrigation system like I have here, with a 360-degree spray emitter that can water the carrots for you at select times of your choosing. About 3 weeks after sowing my seeds, this is what my planter bed looks like. You can see the seeds have germinated well in 3 out of the 4 rows. Remember, the 4th row was the red-coated seeds that I tried as an experiment. These have not germinated well, and unfortunately, I would not recommend them. Here is a closer look at the carrots so far. I'm impressed with the germination of the first 3 varieties I'm growing, and the irrigation system with the single emitter got the job done of keeping the soil consistently moist. After 1 more week, here is what my carrots look like. The first 3 rows are thriving and coming in pretty evenly, but my 4th row is still struggling with germination. I also wanted to mention that these 3 carrot varieties are all growing at about the same pace, and the seedling heights are very similar. It's now been about 7 weeks since I first planted my carrot seeds. My carrots are growing really well, and it's been fun to be out in the garden and see how the carrots grow more and more every day. At this point, the next step in the carrot growing process is to thin the carrots out. When you look at the carrots at the base of the soil, you can see just how closely together the tops of the carrots are growing. Because each carrot needs room to grow, we want to thin out our carrots to let the remaining carrots grow even bigger. Ideally, you should thin your carrots when the seedlings are about 2 inches tall, but time got away from me this year. So I'm thinning them now, and it's better late than never because if your carrots are too crowded, they'll stay thin and won't be as wide and filled out as we want them to be when they're ready to harvest. Here is a close-up of what the carrot rows look like now that my carrots have been growing for a little over 2 months. They're getting closer and closer to being ready to harvest. Now that my carrots are well established, I've been continuing to provide them with lots of water by deep watering with my hose in each carrot row twice a week. This helps encourage my carrots to chase the water downward so they grow nice and long. And here is a look at my carrot rows after 2.5 months. You can see the first 3 rows all look fantastic with lush, tall, green carrot tops. Again, my 4th row here didn't germinate well or grow that well either, so I won't be using these coated seeds again. The final step is the moment I've been waiting for, and that is to harvest the beautiful carrots I grew over the last several months. Here are my carrots and the carrot tops that are overflowing out of my planter bed. The tops are almost as tall as this green garden stake I put in my garden bed earlier this year. Many carrots are ready for harvest 60 to 80 days after planting the seeds, and you can check the seed package for the estimated time frame. But you can also tell if your carrots are ready to harvest in a few different ways. Your carrots are likely ready to harvest if you can see the tops of the carrots above the soil like these orange ones here. To harvest your carrots, I recommend first using your fingers to loosen the soil around the carrot and then wiggle and pull the carrot slowly by gently grabbing the top of the carrot itself. Look at this vibrant orange carrot. This looks great, and I can't wait to see how the others turned out. Let's keep harvesting. These are the carrots I harvested today. There are still lots more carrots that I'll harvest soon, but for now, let me show you how I turn these carrots into something easy and delicious. In my opinion, one of the best and easiest ways to enjoy homegrown carrots is by roasting them in the oven. Look at the color diversity here. We have yellow, pink, purple, orange, and 1 white carrot. To make roasted carrots, first preheat the oven to 450 degrees. And while the oven is heating, remove the green carrot tops from the carrots by gently twisting them off. Now don't throw away your carrot tops. Carrot tops are very nutritious and they contain vitamins and other beneficial compounds. My favorite way to use carrot tops is by making carrot top pesto. But for now, let me show you how I make roasted carrots, which is a delicious and colorful side dish. I'm starting by slicing my carrots into circular rounds. You know, the more I grow my own food, the more I'm tempted to move somewhere off the grid, away from all the distractions of daily life, and just live even more simply. I think this is a common fantasy among so many people who are overstimulated by social media and the grind of our daily lives. Does anyone else feel this way, or is it just me? Would you go somewhere totally remote, or would you want to stay somewhere near other people in case of an emergency? Let me know in the comments below. I'm very curious to hear what you guys would do. Let me finish up slicing my carrots before we move on to the next step. And here are all of my beautiful carrot slices. To remove any potential dirt or debris, I'm soaking my carrot slices in a bowl of water. This helps them be squeaky clean. Now I'm transferring the carrot slices to a paper towel to dry. And finally, it's time to roast all of these carrots. They look very clean and are much drier now. Here is my baking sheet that I've lined with aluminum foil. I'm transferring my carrot slices onto the baking sheet. And I'm spreading everything out so that they will cook evenly. Now I'll give these a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil and then sprinkle on some of my preferred seasoning blend. I then pop these in the oven for about 10 minutes. These turned out super sweet and also savory. I love the color combination, and it brings me so much joy knowing I grew these carrots from little seeds in my backyard in under 3 months. Plus, they taste amazing and make an excellent side dish with lunch or dinner. For the last part of this video, I'm going to answer a few of the most commonly asked questions about growing carrots in the hopes it will help you in your carrot growing journey. If you have a question I don't answer, please feel free to ask in the comments below. The first question is, when is the best time to plant carrots? Well, I recommend planting carrots in the spring or in the fall. I like to plant 2 crops per year, one in April and one in September. I'm in Zone 10B in Orange County, California. In my experience, carrot seeds germinate faster when the soil is warmer, so early fall is a great time to plant your seeds before there is any danger of frost come late fall or winter time. The next question is, how much sunlight do carrots need? Ideally, carrots like at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight per day. Personally, I've seen great results when growing my carrots in 6 or more hours of sun. That being said, I've heard and seen from other gardeners that carrots can be planted in partial shade. However, those carrots may turn out shorter and skinnier than normal carrots. Another frequently asked question is, why are my carrots twisted or weirdly shaped? Well, I can tell you that this has happened to me, and I've learned from experience. One of the main reasons why carrots are twisted or misshapen is if the soil you're growing them in is too compacted or contains rocks, stones, or other large materials. This can cause carrot roots to bend or split instead of growing downward in a straight, uninterrupted way. Other issues that cause weird carrot shapes include inconsistent watering, or if you don't thin your carrots and they're overcrowded. This can cause the roots to twist together or form strange shapes because they don't have the space they need to grow normally. The good news is that misshaped carrots are still edible and nutritious, so even though they may not look as pretty, they're still fun to eat. The next question is, what are the best carrots to grow? This really depends on your personal preferences, but in my opinion, colorful carrots are one of the most fun vegetables to grow because it's a lot harder to find these in the store and they taste delicious. I like the Calliope blend carrot seeds from Botanical Interests. I find that they taste great and they have a really high germination rate. And Nantes carrots are also a great variety. So Nantes carrots are known for their bright orange color and they're very sweet and they make excellent carrot juice. The last question I'll answer today is, what common carrot mistakes should I avoid? Let's see. I've made plenty of mistakes while growing carrots. The mistake I made this year was not thinning my carrot seedlings soon enough to give the surrounding carrots more time to grow and thrive. So some of my carrots were smaller and thinner than normal. If I had thinned my carrots earlier, the remaining carrots would have been longer and wider. Another mistake I've made in the past is not watering my carrots enough, and I ended up with inconsistent germination and then short, stubby carrots that looked more like weirdly shaped baby carrots than normal full-size carrots. So learn from my mistakes, and I wish you total success with growing your carrots at home. That's all for now, but for more videos about how to grow your own food at home, I invite you to subscribe. And if you're interested to learn how to grow blueberries in a small space, check out this video where I share all about how to grow and harvest your own blueberries at home. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.